Okay, so we're recording the session. So in case if someone happens to miss the session, they can also catch up. So as we aimed at the beginning of this course, that we'll try to make this course as contemporary and as practical as possible. With that spirit in mind, this week we're talking about a very important topic in the arena of marketing, which is building long-term customer value. How can brands build long-term customer value? And we'll be going through different concepts related to those. And we'll also do some case analysis. We'll be analyzing some case studies to go through that how marketing is one of the core job of marketing is also to ensure long-term customer value. Because one of the things that probably at the very beginning we need to situate our understanding on is that the marketing effort is not an one-off event. Rather, it is a lifelong pursuit. So once you build a relationship with customer, that means it's not a one-off interaction that you'll have with the customer. Rather, you have to maintain that. You have to nurture that relationship. It's same for like, any relationship, like, it's a family member or something like that, whether it's any type of relationship that you develop, you need to nurture that relationship. If you don't nurture that relationship, you'll find that relationship will not last too long, or it will not be suitable, or it will not be a relationship worth investing. So we will be talking about how do successful brands, we'll be looking into examples of successful brands, how they have invested their time and energy and money into building long-term customer relationship, and they have nurtured that relationship as well. All right. So this is our topic today. We're talking about building long-term customer relationship. So a few things that we will be talking today is how to build customer loyalty. So that's one of the concepts that we're going to talk about. Then we'll understand customer perceived value. This is another concept we'll discuss. We'll be talking about measuring customer lifetime value. This is another very popular and contemporary discussion in the context of marketing. And then we'll talk about attracting and retaining customers. So these are the core objectives of our today's class. So as I mentioned, we will not be extending class for too long, but we'll try to be very focused. So probably we should start at the very beginning by considering the concept of customer loyalty. What is customer loyalty? So in more generic or textual term, customer loyalty is a deeply held commitment to rebuy or repatronize a preferred product or service in the future, despite situational influences and marketing efforts having the potential to cause switching behavior. It's a very word-heavy, very wordy definition, but there are a few things that we might just highlight. One of the things is to rebuying. That's one of the things we need to keep in mind, that customer loyalty is rebuying. That means going to the same seller again. And then, despite situational influences, that's another thing that we might just consider. And switching behavior is another term that we might just highlight. Now let's just pause there for a little bit and try to analyze this definition. So loyalty begins when we go back to the same seller again. And there will be lots of situational influences. What is situational influence? What does situational influence means here?
Sir, for example, if someone likes Apple products, but there are now other brands which are doing equally as good as Apple, but that person will still buy Apple because he is
Yes.
loyal to that brand.
So situational influence, we can say it's like competition, right? It's competitors. So situational influences will be caused by competing brands. So that's situational influence. And marketing efforts having the potential to cause switching behavior. So switching behavior is when a customer will switch or transfer to another organization or another product or service. That's called a switching behavior. So, what creates customer loyalty, and how do customers or how do brands can actually maintain customer loyalty? That is the biggest challenge for all the brands out there, because it's it's a fact these days, and very successful brands that they have realized that the cost to retain a customer is much less than acquiring new customers. Now, do you agree or not? I would like to ask your opinion on this one. The cost to retain an existing customer is less compared to acquiring new customers.
I agree to
Yes,
this
sir.
fact.
I am agree.
Okay. So maybe Bushra, would you like to expand that a little bit? Like, why do you agree?
For example, if I think about new customers, I'll have to think the customer base based on my products. Then I'll have to reach them anyhow. Then I'll have to convince that my product is good. So it's a quite lengthy process. But the customer who already took my service or products, and if I give him or her the best service, then they knows that this brand is very good. So if I can impress them and with my business process, some, for example, if I keep my policies are good in business.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we, when we get good service, we keep.
Okay. I got most of it, Bushra, what you said. Now, is there anyone who would like to add anything with Bushra?
Sir, I will like to give an example here. Like I'm a regular customer of rockomary.com. So they deliver books to me.
Mm-hmm.
So what I saw once I went to their website. So I saw that there are many books. So I surfed to their website and I got my books. I ordered them. And then after that, when I got the service, I became so impressed. And by becoming so impressed, I also asked my other friends that you should also buy books from rockomary.com. So
Mm-hmm.
as a result, for to reach to my friends, Rockomary didn't have to give any advertisement through their website or something like that. But it is me who give the advertisement for them to my friends. So that's why customer retention is very important at the first time. And
Yeah. Okay. All right. No, that's good. So what you mentioned, it's not only that you are loyal, but also you are doing indirect advertisement of that brand. So you're spreading the word of mouth, like promotion for that brand. So you are like a next level customer. So you're not only loyal that you will buy by yourself, but you're also advertising that product to someone else. So the essence is, it's a fact that on average, a business owner actually spends 5 times as much to attract new client as it does to keep an existing one. And it's a fact, right? So if you want to keep an existing customer, that's easy. But when you want to attract new customers, that is actually 5 times more expensive, studies have shown. So it's much better to retain your existing customers. And very successful brands, they have actually understood this fact that this will significantly lower their advertisement cost. Because guess what? When you have your existing customers, and if you can simply satisfy these customers, you don't need to do any marketing to them, right? You don't need to do any promotion to them. And not only this will help to reduce your cost, but those customers, as Rabiul mentioned, that they will work as your indirect, like, advertising agency. Like if you can help them, or if you maintain them, or if you satisfy them, you give them that what they want, they will themselves will be your promoter of the brand. So that is the reason customer loyalty is becoming a very contemporary issue, and the biggest successful brands, they have realized that this is the core factor of success. So to understand customer loyalty, there's few related concepts that we will be going through today. The first one we need to understand is called customer perceived value. What is customer perceived value? So customer perceived value, or also known as CPV, very popularly known in the marketing world, is I'm just letting people in as well while I am on the Zoom call, because some people are getting into the class every now and then. Okay, so customer perceived value. The concept says that the difference between the prospective customer's evaluation of all the benefits and costs of an offering and the perceived alternative. Okay, so customer perceived value. So the word perception is actually, we may just step back a little bit and understand the word perception. So perception is actually individual's way of explaining things, right? So perception is the way we make up of reality. And our perception vary from one customer to another to a large extent. Let's talk about examples again so that we understand what's perception. See, again, we might just talk about local, like, examples. So maybe when it comes to, let's say, talking about fast food, all right? Fast food is something that is becoming very popular in Bangladesh, right? In Bangladesh, people like to go to fast foods and, go to KFC and Pizza Hut and, Burger King. Now, for some people, going to fast food restaurant with the family is luxury, right? For some families, going there, it's like a luxury. Oh, okay, all right, this week we're going to fast food restaurant, we're going to have some pizza or something like that. So for some group of customers, their perception that fast food is like a luxury item, but for some others, it is like a regular thing. Like, they can just spend on fast food, like, every day. They can eat that. They don't even have to care about that. So the thing is, the way customer perceive from one to another, that might vary to a large extent. And this perception is held by individuals, and that is largely based upon individual customers. So the customer perceived value is always equals the perceived benefits and minus perceived cost. So what is the perceived benefit from a product and the minus the cost? So perceived benefit of a product is very important. Okay, we've got a hand up. Bushra, go ahead.
Sir, can you please share the slide?
Sir,
Yes,
this
sir.
slide is not.
We can see that. We can see the slide.
Okay. My apologies. Okay. So Yeah, we're talking about customer perceived value. So CPV. So customer perceived value.
Sir, can you repeat it again, because I don't understand the
Okay,
concept.
all right, sure. So customer perceived value, all right? Simply put, customer perceived value is when customer perceives some benefits from a product and the cost of the product, right? These are two things. So when you minus the cost of the product from the benefits, then you get the customer perceived value, all right? So that means how much money you are willing to spend for the product that you are receiving. That is your CPV. So going to the fast food restaurant, the CPV for a middle class customer could be 1, and for the high end or someone from the top of the rich people, their CPV will be different. Okay, so it's really important for marketers to understand that what is the CPV of specific group of customers, what is their perceived value. Whenever we make any purchase, we always develop a CPV inherently or psychologically within our mind. For instance, again, buying automobile, when you buy a car, we always tend to have something in our perceived value. What do we perceive? So for middle class people, it is when they think about buying a car, their perceived value, it's a luxury commodity. It's not a necessity, rather it's a luxury, buying a car. So their level of CPV will be different compared to someone very rich and someone who can easily spend or buy a car. So when you are a marketer or when you are a business person, you need to analyze, you need to understand that what is the customer perceived value of specific product to these group of segment or these type of customers. So there are a few other things. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, what if the perceived cost is more than the perceived benefits? In that case, there is no CPV, right?
That's going to be a minus CPV. Your CPV is going to be minus in that case. Yeah, it's a good question. Your CPV is going to be minus in that case. You always want to have the value plus, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting. There's lots of equation, there's lots of this is pretty analytical, and this is part of accounting as well. In fact, we do have some discussions which we'll do, and you'll find in the text as well. There's a section on CPV analysis. There you'll find that this goes beyond the textual definition only. There are some financial calculations as well. So to understand CPV, let's talk about a few other concepts what is involved into CPV. So total customer benefit and total customer cost, all right? So total customer benefits, that you don't include your product benefit, that is what you get from the product, immediate benefit that you get from the product, the services benefit, what are the services that you're receiving from the product, some personal benefit, some image benefit. All right. So these are quiz question, by the way. Keep these in mind, that total customer benefit includes product benefit, which is the immediate benefit that you're receiving. So when you're buying a car, the product benefit is the car will take you from one place to another. That's the immediate benefit that you're getting. Then you get some services benefit, like the service that you're getting, when it comes to repairing your car, servicing your car. These are some of the factors. Some personnel benefit. Personnel benefit means the people who are serving you, those are the one who can also provide you some services as well. That means when you need to have some service in your car, you buy some product from any organization and you need some help, you need some repairing or servicing or something like that, the type of personnel benefit that you get from that specific product and the image benefit. Image means all about, like, you know, the psychological aspect, right? What image that you get or you can derive from that. Yes, Srivel, go ahead.
So can you again explain the personal benefit?
Yeah, just keep this one in mind that this is called personnel, not personal. All right. So there's different between that. So the personnel benefit is all about the like, you know, the people who are behind the scene, all right, of that specific organization, or, you know, the people who are serving you. They're the one. How do they benefit? That means the people who are serving. So imagine you are going to a shop in a restaurant, right? So in the restaurant, you're buying food. So that's the immediate item. You're getting the product, the service, like, you know, what service that you're getting, the overall, like the atmosphere of the restaurant, the ambience, everything. Personnel is the individual person who is shaping your experience, and, like, you know, the customer service attendant in that case. So personnel means the people who are also part of the service. They are also integral part of that. And as we have discussed about the marketing, the extended piece, we have also came to the understanding that people is also part of your extended P. It's not only about product, price, place, and promotion. Your people are also part of your service or the product. And then finally, image benefit is the psychological aspect. What is the psychological benefit that you are receiving from buying that product? So these are all total customer benefit. Now, also think about the total customer cost, because when you are spending money, it's not only that specific amount of money that you're spending, not only the money value, but there are some other costs also involved. So monetary costs, time cost, because when it comes to buying a product, imagine you want to buy something, you have to go to a restaurant, you want to order a food. So you have to go to a restaurant. Maybe you like to eat a specific type of food, and that restaurant is not nearby where you are located. So that means there is some time cost involved to go there and get the food. Some energy, because you need to spend your physical energy to go there, and it's not without that. And then psychological cost as well. So imagine you want to eat star kebab, right? Maybe you're in Mirpur and you want to enjoy star kebab from star kebab. So you, in order to get star kebab, Mirpure, I don't know if Mirpure ki star kebab ache, I don't know. So to get star kebab, maybe you have to go to Dhanmondi, or I don't know, je ar kothay ache star kebab. So to go there, it is all of these other costs involved: monetary costs, time costs, energy costs, psychological costs, right? So a সবগুলা জিনিস মিলাই, it combines all of these together when it comes to your perceived value from that specific purchase. You need to consider all of these things. Anyone has any question? Someone was
yeah, what monetary cost means?
Oh, monetary cost is the money value. Exactly. It's the price that you're paying. It's just the, like the dollar or the taka value. Exactly. So star kebab ekta kebab khete joto taka lage, it's exactly that. Maybe you're spending $200 or sorry, 200 taka or 300 taka to buy that kebab from Star Kebab. That's exactly the monetary cost. But added with that are the other costs. And sometimes we tend not to see these costs, but these are also very important costs, because time cost. Imagine to go to a shop, how much time that you have to spend to go there. Maybe to go to that shop, you have to, so there's like two different brands, right? And both of these are in front of you, like, you know, choices in front of you. So imagine that the monetary cost is same for both of these products, okay? But one has the benefit or the feature to provide service online, and the other one does not. So which one would you prefer? Probably you will choose the online, because that will reduce your time cost, because you don't have to go to that shop. You don't need to spend that energy, and your psychological cost will obviously be reduced, because the other one you can easily food panda that. All right, so a restaurant and star kebab, so you আজকে খুব কাবাব খেতে ইচ্ছা করছে, and these are two choices. So okay, let's forget about star kebab. এই যে এখানে আরেকটা আছে, there's another choice. Let's just go for that one, because that one is easy, right? So we're talking about customer perceived value, that when customer perceived about a brand or a product, they don't simply see our product. There are lots of other things that are involved. So that's what we have deconstructed in this model, is that what are those two things? So under the broad heading of total customer benefit and under the heading of total customer cost. So there's a good question, is that what if the total customer cost is more than the customer benefit? What's going to happen?
So negative একটা side effect হবে কাস্টমারের উপর, যে
that is the inverse relationship.
Yes, so
that will be neutral.
That's going to be a minus. Customer perceived value will be minus, right? Because your benefit should always be greater than your cost. Only then you are willing to spend money. If your benefits are less than the cost, you're never going to spend the money. Or even if you do that later, you will not go back to that seller again. Okay, so now let's talk about maximizing customer lifetime value. Okay, so you need to understand there's this concept of customer lifetime value. Okay, so every customer has a lifetime value. All right, what is a lifetime value, by the way? So a lifetime value, simply put, is that one customer simply in his or her lifetime, how much money he or she will spend for that specific brand. That's customer's lifetime value. All right, so as Robiul mentioned, that Robiul buys book from rockamari.com, right? So rockamari.com is Robiul's preferred online bookshop. Now, in the whole span of Robiul's life, how much money Robiul can potentially spend on buying books, that will be the lifetime value of Robiul. And every brand, especially at least the successful brands, they do that calculation, they do that math, that they take every customer, they look at their purchasing behavior, and they extrapolate that information, and they make up something which is called a customer lifetime value. What will be the potential customer lifetime value? So this well-known 80-20 rule. Okay, so there's a well-known rule which is called the 80-20 rule, which states that 80% or more of the company's profit actually come from the top 20% of its customers. So you need to keep this one in mind, that 80% or more of companies' profits come from 20% of its customers. So what it means that not every customer will end up becoming your loyal customer. Maybe you'll get a maybe 10 to 20% customers who will be the one who will be the most profitable. And the least profitable 10% to 20%, on the other hand, can actually reduce profit between 50% and 200% per account, with the middle 60% to 70% breaking even. Okay. What is the implication? The implication is that a company could improve its profits by firing its worst customer. So from this analysis, we can cluster our customer into 3 different categories. Category number 1 হচ্ছে the most high value customers, the ones that are very high value customers, that the ones that are willing to spend lots of money. Okay, some customers, they will remain in the middle, and there will be some customers, they will be the least profitable customers. Okay, so the company needs to identify the customers based on their purchasing behavior. So once you analyze a customer's purchasing behavior, okay, and then you'll be able to understand that how and what are those customer segments. Let me show you this diagram here. Okay, customer product profitability analysis. So as I was saying, that you need to look into your customers as high profit customers, customers that are willing, or they will give you like lots of profit. Then you'll have some mixed bag customers. That means the mixed bag customers are the ones, that means they are in between. They're not regular, but they're also not that low in terms of profitability or giving you money. And the third category will be your losing customers. So this is a matrix relationship. At the other end, as you can see, that you also have to look into your products as well. Which one of your products are highly profitable product? Some of your product could be profitable product, unprofitable product, and highly unprofitable product. Now this could apply for multiple product businesses, and this applies to, like, large and complex organizations. Maybe again, we'll use known example. If we will consider the example of Apple, Apple's highly profitable product would be probably at the market will be the smartphone. Apple smartphone is more popular than any other Apple product at the moment. Then their profitable product could be their Mac computers. The Mac computers could be, maybe profitable one. Unprofitable product. What could be an unprofitable product of Apple?
Apple PC.
Apple TV. Yes, that's a good example. Apple TV is not that popular, at least if we consider the global market. Maybe it's, maybe in the Western market, it's almost, battling with Netflix and other, streaming services, but still not that popular. Yeah, Rabil, go ahead.
Sir, I saw that in Bata showrooms, there is always some discounts. So when there is some discounts, so people come there and buy products from Bata at discounted price. So there are some people, they always go to Bata stores whenever they see discounts in Bata stores. So are they losing customers? Because Bata, some maximum time Bata keeps those shoes, those which are highly unprofitable, or those are out of style, nobody buys it. Are they losing customers for Bata?
Okay, let's get some opinion from other Bata users before I provide my comment. So someone else would like to share some thoughts?
So I think
Yeah.
So I think a promotional offer will help acquire the new customer.
চলতেছে ওখানে ডিসকাউন্ট দিচ্ছে না, যেগুলো হচ্ছে দিন শেষে চলতেছে না ওগুলোতে ডিসকাউন্ট দিচ্ছে, যেন ওগুলো কিনা ওদের মানে ইনভেন্টরিতে জিনিসগুলো না থাকে, ইনভেন্টরিতে যেন ওয়্যার হাউসে জিনিসগুলো পড়ে না থাকে, এই জন্যই তো ওরা ডিসকাউন্টে দিচ্ছে। সো আই ডোন্ট থিংক ওরা মানে কাস্টমার লুজ করার জন্য দিচ্ছে জিনিসটা।
অ্যাকচুয়ালি স্যার, প্রোডাক্টটা যখন স্যার আনসোল্ড থাকে, মানে ততদিন পর্যন্ত যদি আনসোল্ড যদি থাকে, তাহলে ওই ক্ষেত্রে স্যার একটা ভাগ পর্যন্ত তারা ডিসকাউন্টটা দেয়, যাতে তারা একটা কাস্টমার গেইন করতে পারে বা অ্যাট্রাক্ট করতে পারে। এইভাবে তারা প্রোডাক্টগুলো,
যদি ওয়্যার হাউসে একটা প্রোডাক্ট পড়ে থাকে তাহলে তো টার্নওভার হবে না, টার্নওভার না হলে ইনডাইরেক্টলি কস্টটা বাড়ে, ক্যারিং কস্টটা বাড়ে। আর ওই আনসোল্ড প্রোডাক্টটাকে সেল করার জন্য তারা একটা লট অফ একটা ডিসকাউন্ট করে।
Yes, So I guess that's the simple reason here, is that sometimes brands tend to give these promotional prices and discounts, and purely the reason is when they have oversupply or some unsold items which they could not sell within the stipulated time by which they were planning to sell this, they need to make additional space in their warehouse or in their inventory so that they can make space for new products to appear. And that's why they need to clear the inventory, because if they don't clear the inventory within the scheduled time, that means they cannot bring more profitable products into their inventory. So they could actually bring more profitable or new model designs, which will have better value. Maybe imagine the products that they're selling for 100, sorry, not 100, maybe 500 taka, je jutor dam, shegula they're giving in the discount of maybe half price. Okay, half price এ ছেড়ে দিচ্ছে, 250 টাকাতে চলে যাচ্ছে। কিন্তু এটার ফলে কি হচ্ছে? এর ফলে they're making space, এবং এর ফলে maybe they can bring shoe with the price of 2000 টাকা, 2000 টাকা দামের জুতা হয়তো তাদের ইনভেন্টরিতে নিয়ে আসতে হবে। So the important thing about big businesses is that their inventory, because they need to have that much space within their inventory, because তাদের inventory কে সবসময় তাদের up to date রাখতে হবে।
Sir, so that means they are the losing customers.
Why would you think that? Why would they lose customers? Because they are bringing more customers as well. Because when they are giving that promotional or the discount, more people who were not planning to buy, যে এটার দাম ছিল 500 টাকা, now এটা হঠাৎ করে চলে আসছে হয়তো 250 টাকা। So they will in fact bring more customers, যে অনেকের যাদের কেনার ইচ্ছাই ছিল না, যারা মনে করতো যে না এটা অফ সিজনে কিনবো বা পরে কিনবো, they're planning to buy it now, so they can bring more customers as well.
So we can put them in the high profit customer segment.
Not necessarily. This is not measured in terms of, like, you know, what we are talking, or you're talking about giving an example of one promotional sales, and that is not the denominator of this, because this one is more about the lifetime value of a customers, right? And like which customers will give us the high profit, and who will give like the mixed amount, and the third category would be the losing customers. Now this only applies with the customers whose data you're actually keeping. This is one of the problems, is that majority of the corporations or companies in Bangladesh, or at least in non-developed markets, they don't have that established CRM system through which they can actually track and keep the record of the customer purchase. And this is where the distinction is with very successful brands, with the brands that are only starting to realize the potential or the importance of managing or maintaining customer relationship. If we talk in the context of Bangladesh, how many organizations or how many brands actually keep your record? How many organizations or brands actually maintain or nurture that relationship with you? Probably very less. Only the banks, or the ones where you will do the recurring transaction. You're forced to do the recurring transaction. But the ones where it is not that important, they don't care much whether you do it or not. But this is a classic example of why many brands have become very successful, because they were very able to maintain that customer relationship from the very beginning. And from a very small business, they could grow exponentially. There's one brand called Zappos. Zappos is an American shoe retailer. So Zappos actually started as a shoe retailer. So initially started as a shoe retailer, they were only selling shoes. The best part of Zappos was that they were very, very strong with their CRM system. Their customer relationship management system was very strong, because every customer data, everyone bought shoe from them. They actually kept their data, all of their CRM detail and everything. And eventually they were able to give regular offers to those customers. Only recently, এবার আমি যখন বাংলাদেশে ছিলাম, I saw যে there's lots of companies, they're sending SMS based marketing. Like, you get these days lots of SMS marketing, right? Through SMS in your phone, you get SMS marketing. But again, there's not a lot of strong regulation in Bangladesh as well. I don't know how many of these companies are doing this solicited advertising, because this could be mostly unsolicited, because I don't even know where do they get my information. Some organizations কেউ কেউ আমাকে পাঠাচ্ছিল information about যে ready-made flat কেনা যাবে, তারপরে এই সেই হ্যান তেন অনেক কিছু, but I don't give my details to anyone, so how come they were like sending me those texts? So that's just like I wasn't sure. So there needs to be strong regulation in countries when it comes to this CRM. So CRM is also another topic that we'll be talking in a while, but essentially what I'm trying to get to is that managing, in order to analyze your customers' profitability, you need to have the records. So same goes for Bata. If you go to Bata, and then Bata should have a comprehensive record that Robiul, from his lifetime, since the first day of his purchase, how many times Robiul has entered the Bata shop, how many money has he spent into buying shoes, what are the types of shoes Robiul buys, how frequently Robiul buys. So all of these data. I hope it's okay if I'm saying your first name. I don't know if I should call you by Naim, Robiul. I mean,
No, sir, it's okay.
Okay, all right. So anyway, yeah, go ahead.
So there's a shop called Ryan's. They always keep your phone number. So every time when I go shopping for my computer parts, they just input my number and they have all the data.
Yeah.
So they're doing the same thing here, right? That when I'm buying it and all.
Yes, that's right. So that is actually an example of CRM, customer, like that's just like the beginning. We'll be talking about CRM. CRM is more comprehensive than that, but that's an example of trying to keep that. So customer lifetime value concept. What is customer lifetime value? So customer lifetime value describes the net present value of the stream of future profits expected over customers' lifetime purchase. Okay, so very successful organizations, very successful brands, they actually keep the record of their customers from the very beginning. As you can see in this image, that since you became a customer of that brand, over a period of time, as you grow, as you mature, as you go through different life cycle in your life, your purchasing behavior will change, your money spending behavior will change, your consumption pattern will change, and all of these factors will get included. But these all, apart from all of these, the organization should also maintain a lifetime value. That means how much money that you are potentially going to spend on buying their product or service. So this is a very important data, and majority of the very successful organizations or corporations, they actually keep a record of this, and this is what is called CRM, customer relationship management. So the process of carefully managing detailed information about individual customers and all customer touch points to maximize loyalty. CRM is a very comprehensive topic, and we can spend another 5 hours talking about CRM, but essentially, as we were talking about, the way customer or organizations can keep your detail into their inventory or into their database is through having a strong CRM system. So CRM system needs to be very strong, and by default, some organizations, their product is like that. Like bank, you go to the bank, you have to open an account in the bank anyway. They'll know your date of birth, they'll know your details, they'll know your wife's name, they'll know your details, everything anyway. So it's easy for them to manage that. But for some businesses, it's not that easy. But here's where the success factor actually depends, that how strong you can manage these. Let me give you some examples. Even very small organizations, they're also trying to manage these. Here in my shop, like under my office in Australia, I work in the government. I do some consultancy in the government, and just below our office, there's a coffee shop. And the coffee shop, as you might wonder, that coffee shop would not have that strong CRM. It's just like a very small shop, and there's only it's only a small coffee shop. But the good thing that they keep is that they keep a record of all of my buying behavior. Like, they know my name, all right? And they know how many coffee that I consume. Like, every time I buy a coffee, they actually know how many coffee that I buy. They know my purchasing or my spending pattern into their coffee store. They have a loyalty card. Like, if I buy 5 coffees from their shop, they give me the 6th coffee for free. So that's just like a simple gesture. But and then simple thing, every time I enter into that shop to buy a coffee, they actually know my name, and I feel so good that, hey Simon, how are you? So when I go to a shop and I feel that I'm known, they know me, I feel that there's that connection with the shop. And that is the reason this coffee franchise or this coffee shop has become so popular. So this is a simple example that how even a small organization can build successful customer relationship. And very big and comprehensive, like like big brands, they have very, very strong customer relationship management. They have email marketing, or they have, they'll take your email, they will take your, all the other details, date of birth and everything. Even you will get text message during your birthdays, they'll do lots of other things. So CRM is actually another topic, which is definitely a very important topic, and we need to keep that in mind as well. So essentially what I'm going through, or we're going through, that I'm just giving you an orientation with these topics. We can talk about these topics at very length, and in fact, very successful organizations, actually, they do data-driven customer loyalty management. And I'm going to actually share you one link. How many of you are fan of data, or you are studying data, or you've got a background in data? Okay, the reason I ask is that customer lifetime value is something, it's a financial calculation, and there's lots of tools that are engaged to measure customer data. And I actually dabble into these things sometimes, and I've actually got a course on Udemy actually, which is quite popular. I'm going to share with you the link as well, just in case you want to check it out. I'm not asking you to buy my course, or if you're interested, I'm going to give you the free coupon so you can access the course free. You don't have to buy the course, obviously, with $26, but I'm just sharing the link with you here. The reason I'm sharing with you is that there's tools these days, and things like Python, things like R. These are the tools that are used to measure customer life cycle value, customer perceived value. Was there a question? Someone needs to mute the microphone. All right. So as I was saying, is that analyzing customer life cycle value is very data driven, and companies in Bangladesh has to still go a long way to manage this data, analyze this data, and very successful organizations, in fact, what they're doing, which is a case study I'm about to share, is that they're actually doing data-driven marketing. With the customer's data that they receive, they actually doing some data-driven marketing. So we'll talk about that. And the link that I just shared with you was an example of a course that I developed on how data could be used to analyze customers. And this course talks about, all of those things about customer predictive analytics and prescriptive analytics and things like that. So we've got a case study we'll talk about in a minute. But before that, I will talk about the concept of marketing funnel. So what is marketing funnel? So everything that I'm talking about, you'll find in our ebook. The ebook link is already with you. You already have the ebook link. If you don't have it, just let me know. I'll be putting it on the chat screen again. So what is customer marketing funnel? So marketing funnel is, like, as you can see in this image, is that what is a funnel? We know a funnel is something through which you can actually put something. It has got a bigger mouth. You will put something, pour something into the funnel, and it will just filter down to something, to its nearest path. So marketing, if we consider this concept as a funnel, this is what the marketing funnel would look like. At the beginning, you will target your potential segment to which you are going to sell your product. Then you have to build some awareness with them. I have heard of the brand. All right. So first you're targeting the market, you're advertising them. And then only then they will say, okay, all right, I'm aware of this brand. The third step would be they're open to trial. I'm open to trying the brand, but have not done so. So when they've just come to understand, okay, all right, so this is what the product looks like. So they will just come and they will think that, well, I'll just give it a try. I'm not sure yet. Then trier or non-rejectors. In the triad, there will be some non-rejectors. I have tried the brand and would use again, but have not done so in the past 3 months. Then there's another category would be the recent user. Once in the past 3 months, I have used the brand in the past 3 months, but I'm not a regular user. Then comes a regular user, at least once every 2 weeks. I'm a regular user, but this is not my most often used brand. Some users will be most often users, like I use this brand most often, even though I do use other brands. And there will be some who will become the loyal one. I always use this brand as long as it is available. Okay, pause again. Anyone give me an example of any product that your journey was like this? Or maybe
about my Xiaomi phone. First I tried it because it gives you better CPU in low price, and now everyone in my family has Xiaomi phone.
Okay.
Because I'm on that loyal state.
Okay.
Sir.
So you started with Dekhi Xiaomi phone ta kemon, and then slowly you thought, oh, okay, not bad, try kora jai. And then you thought, oh, well, this phone is actually good compared to price and everything, the service that I'm getting. And then finally you became a loyal customer, that not only yourself, but you chose this phone for the rest of your family members as well, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anyone else?
Sir. Sir, I am মানে আমি ফেসবুকের থ্রুতে মার্কেটিং করি, মার্কেটিং ফানেল করি, এন্ড আমার মানে থ্রুআউট মানে আমি যেভাবে
Tormay, can you
marketing
identify like what do you do? Like what do you work? What's your work? Tell us.
Okay, sir. I'm in the Lalmai group as a brand manager, digital marketing, and I do this funneling every day on my daily work. So from the marketing perspective, আমরা যখন ফানেলিং করি তখন একটা অ্যাড আমরা রান করি যে মানুষের কাছে রিচ করার জন্য টু দ্য টার্গেট মার্কেট, এন্ড দেন ওটা থেকে যখন ডেটা কালেক্ট হয় পিক্সেলে, মানে ফেসবুক পিক্সেলের মাধ্যমে আমরা ডেটা কালেক্ট করি যে কতজন মানে মানুষ অ্যাকচুয়ালি ওই লিংকে মানে আমাদের ওয়েবসাইটে ইন্টারেস্টেড আর আমাদের পেজে ইন্টারেস্টেড। তো সেকেন্ড অ্যাড যেটা আমরা রান করি সেটা হলো যে specifically to those person who actually engaged with our page or visited our page, our website.
Okay.
So that's the second layer. The purpose of the second stage is to become to find out the people who are interested. And third segment এসে তখন আমরা কনভার্সন অ্যাড রান করি। কনভার্সন অ্যাড শুধুমাত্র মানে সেসব পিপলদের উপর রান করি যারা আমাদের পেজে মানে এঙ্গেজ, রেগুলারলি এঙ্গেজ, এবং যারা অলরেডি অ্যাড টু কার্ট করে ফেলছে, মানে এখনো পারচেজ করে নাই বাট তারা অ্যাড টু কার্ট করে রাখছে। তার মানে কি, মানে যারা অ্যাড টু কার্ট করছে তারা সামহাউ আমাদের প্রোডাক্টটা সম্পর্কে ইন্টারেস্টেড ইয়ে করছে। সো আমি বারবার যদি তাদের কাছে কনভার্সন অ্যাডটা চালাই সেখান থেকে আমার কনভার্সন রেটটা অনেক হাই, রাদার দ্যান আমি যদি একটু ম্যাস মার্কেট দিকে চালাই।
All right. Okay. Yes, I mean there's like different strategies, different techniques. Obviously you shared the strategy by your organization. What's the group, what's the organization called?
Lalmai. So you have heard about, yes sir, you heard about the Arco Gura Masala, and I am the responsible for the brand called Karkuma. Karkuma is a functional food product.
Okay, all right, so that's good to know. That's a good example. Okay, now let's talk about some real and big giant corporations and their cases study. All right, I want to talk about Nike. All right, it's a very popular brand and we all know Nike very well. So Nike undoubtedly is one of the most famed and one of the most successful brands in the world in its category, and also as the combined brand value of Nike will be among the top 10 brands in the world, more or less. So what makes Nike so successful? We might just reflect on different things apart from the very successful sponsorship of the major players, apart from great quality like products, their sneakers, their shoes, their everything that they offer to the market. Another most important thing which made them so successful is their strong customer relationship management system, and they have done it to the next level. The Nike customer relationship management and the way they have engineered that is obviously like praiseworthy, and obviously there's a lot could be learned. Like, let me give you simple examples. Like, you may have heard that Nike shoes these days, they come with these microchips inside the shoes. Now, does anyone know what these chips does and how does that work as a tool for CRM? Okay, so I'll tell you. So because these shoes are very popular in this part of the world, people are like crazy, and like this is like a household product. I know countries like in Bangladesh, these shoes are not yet that available. Only there's like few maybe high-end shops they're only selling, because these shoes are really expensive. There's like maybe these cost about 12,000 Bangladeshi taka or 15,000 Bangladeshi taka, and not many people would need to. I'm not saying can buy, or maybe they don't need to, because there's lots of other good value shops or good value brands in Bangladesh already with reasonable price. So what Nike does is that they have taken their CRM system to the next level, and they're leveraging technology with their CRM. So these different, and these are only some images. There are lots of other images that they have, like, through these, what they do, like, this chip here on this image on the right hand side, as you can see, this is installed into their shoes, which actually measures for the basketball player, the ones who play basketball. So when they play basketball, these type of chips, actually, when they install this basketball, people can actually measure how high they can jump. And Nike actually gives those data to customers as well, because the customers, they have apps, and their apps are actually linked with these chips. So when they wear that shoes, and when they're playing, playing these for basketball, actually, when they jump, actually, Nike gives them the data that, how high, or, how was your jump. So through that, you can actually measure your performance over a period of time when you're playing basketball. Then comes the Nike's joggers. Like, when you're like jogging or running, Nike actually measures your running habit, how frequently you're running, how long you're running every day, and then whether that is how much calorie you can potentially burn through that much running. And all of this data gets into your app, from your smartphone, from your watch into your app. And Nike can also, these are the, as this is taken to the next level, is that Nike can actually measure that when it will be time for you to buy a new pair of shoes, like, the time that you buy the shoe, and then how long you have been running with that shoe, and when the shoe it's time needs to replace the shoe. Nike exactly knows that, and there are people behind the computers. They can actually track those data as well. So imagine যে এই জুতাটা you have purchased that maybe today, এবং Nike will measure যে আচ্ছা এই ছেলেটা বা এই মেয়েটা কতদিন হাঁটে, কতখানি হাঁটে বা কতখানি রান করে। সো এটার উপর বেস করে ওরা একটা ডাটাও তো বেস তৈরি করে যে এতখানি হাঁটলে বা এতখানি দৌড়ালে এরপরে শুটা আস্তে আস্তে ক্ষয় হওয়া শুরু করবে, এবং ক্ষয় হওয়ার পরে যখন সময় হবে জুতা কেনার, আজ থেকে হয়তো 1 বছর বা 2 বছর পরে, ঠিক ওই সময় ওই কাস্টমারটাকে রেগুলার তারা তখন তাদের অ্যাডভার্টাইজিং এবং প্রমোশনাল পাঠাতে থাকবে, বিকজ তারা জানে যে এখন ওর শুটা হয়তো, ওর হয়তো নতুন জুতা কেনার সময় হয়ে গেছে। সো তখন তাকে নিয়মিত অ্যাডভার্টাইজমেন্ট পাঠানো হবে, প্রমোশনাল বিভিন্ন ধরনেরই পাঠানো হবে। Thus they actually retain these customers as well, because they know that it's so easy if we could maintain these customers rather than acquiring new customers. It's easy if we just maintain these customers. So Nike, they have actually 4 different apps: Nike's Run Club, Sneakers, Nike app, Nike Training Club, and these are for different types of people, like different types of consumers. Like, the ones who like to run, that's for them. The ones who like training, like, working out. Then they have sneakers, they like Nike app. So different apps serves different purpose or different consumer groups, and they track all of the customers' data, like, your height, your age, your, like, everything. And all of this data, they get a comprehensive picture about these specific customers, and they can use those as very, very easy marketing tool. Like, they can use the app, they can use your phone number to send you customized, tailored messages, they can use your email, they will know your food habit, they will know your running habit, and based on that, this is all very combined. So this is just one example, and we see that all of the majority of the very successful brands, they are becoming very, very, like, data driven, and the data is all furnished by the customers. All right, let's have a little bit of pause. অনেকক্ষণ ধরে আমরা অনেক কথা বললাম এবং অনেক কমপ্লেক্স জিনিস নিয়ে করলাম। What do you feel? What do you think? Any thoughts or reflections?
I think brands do more research to retain their customers than attaining newer customers. Because to attain newer customers, you just need to promote well, but to retain older customers, you need to have a good after sale services. Like for example, if I give example of Apple, they provide 6 years of software updates, where Android provides only 3 years, and that is for the flagship phone. For the mid-range, it's only 2 years. So for Androids, it's normal for us to buy a new phone after every 2 years or so.
Okay,
And
all right.
we don't stick to one brand usually.
Okay. That's a good reflection. Anyone else? So as we mentioned at the beginning, is that retaining customer is much easier than acquiring new customer. In fact, acquiring customer is 5 times higher than retaining customers. So why should you not spend your energy and effort into retaining customers? And that's what all of the discussion today was. It's all about retaining customers, that how can we potentially retain our customers? Okay, 5 minutes break. I'm giving 5 minutes break. Let's just have a 5 minutes break. And after that, we'll come back. We will do some group discussion. We need to do some group discussion for some reflection, and then we will take it from there. All right. So time now is 8:12 at your end. So maybe try to come back by 8:20. Okay. So while we're on the break, you are welcome to turn your camera off, and yeah, we'll just be back in 5-10 minutes. So as I mentioned before, I'll try not to extend the class for too long today. We'll just try to be very focused. So our aim today was to understand the concept of customer lifecycle value, and also understanding what is customer lifecycle value, customer lifetime value. Now, I will just very briefly talk about, we'll do some case analysis. But before that, I want to talk about customer retaining customers. As the text suggests that there's something called retaining a customer. In fact, we'll go to that. Before that, I would like to do some analysis. Let's just do some of these analysis first, and then we'll go to that. So what we have here is some local brands, right? Food Panda, Bata, Boshundara Group, and Pathao. Let's talk about some brands operating in a local markets, right? We'd like to do some analysis of their customer retention strategy. Now, I have picked up 4 different types or different nature of business from different industries. And I would like to see your opinion as a group. Where do we stand when it comes to analyzing? What can we potentially reveal from their example, like, these examples of what are they doing, all right? So let us talk about in 5 minutes within small groups about these 4 brands, okay? So I want you to talk about the customer retention strategy, because since all of you are Bangladeshi consumers, you all have a more or less good understanding about what exactly they're doing in order to retain the customers. Okay, so let's do that in small groups. Let me just put you into breakout rooms now. So we have, I'm going to split you into 4 breakout groups. And I'm going to rename the rooms according to these different brand names. So just reflect on some of the concepts that we have talked about. And I'm more or less sure that you may have at least some point in your consumption life, you have encountered these brands. So based on your experience, what have you found as a user by yourself is something that could resonate with what we have discussed? And I will be opening up all the rooms, and I will be randomly throwing you into each of these rooms, okay? So I want you in 5 minutes, we'll take around 5 minutes to do this discussion. So simply talk about their customer retention strategy. If you have experience or you have noticed anything as their customer retention strategy, I want you to just sum up in bullet points and then present to us. So I'll be visiting the rooms. So if you have question, feel free to ask me. So you'll be invited to join different rooms. So make sure you just join those rooms, as I'm just randomly putting you into these rooms one by one. Toslima, can you hear me? Mahbub, can you hear me? Sorry.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, are you going to take the attendance today?
Yes, of course. So the last thing that we're going to talk about today is a bit of reflection, that retaining customers. So this is just like one simple strategy, like just to probably reflect on what we have discussed, is that what could be done if customers receive a bad experience from a brand. So these are simple strategies that could be adopted to manage customer, like, satisfaction. So and this is what the very successful brands, they're doing this already, like, set up a 7-day 24 toll-free hotline by phone, fax, or email to receive and act on complaints, make it easy for the customers to complain. Contact the complaining customer as quickly as possible. The slower the response, the more dissatisfaction may grow and lead to negative word of mouth. Accept responsibility for the customer's disappointment. Don't blame the customers. Then use friendly, empathic customer service people. Resolve the complaint swiftly and to customer satisfaction. Some complaining customers are looking for a sign that the company cares, not for the compensation. But anyway, that's just like simple, steps, what could be done. But essentially, what we may have to sum up saying that no matter how much we talk about the customer retention and everything, the key to it is the successful management of your data and keeping customer data. That's the center of your building customer loyalty and long-term profitability, because with your brand image and everything, that will stay. But in order to these days, in order to keep your customers within your end, you need to have a track. What are they doing? What are their buying behavior is? What product that they're using over a life cycle, over a period of time. Like, we gave the example of Nike. Imagine Netflix. Netflix could be another great example. Netflix is less of a streaming service, more of a data analytics company, we can actually tell, because Netflix simply uses the leverage of data, like leverages the power of data, because all Netflix does is capture the user profile, like, what are the movies that you watch, what are the drama, what are the documentaries that you watch, and based on that completely, it will offer you all the drama and movies, on the top. It will always be on the top of your screen, and it will keep sending you updates whenever there's a new movie of your choice is coming. So that's how it is keeping you always connected with their streaming service. It's all built on data. They know exactly what type of movie that you and I watch regularly. So the success of all the CRM and everything depends on, like, the strongest of how strong the brand is on the data front. So look, today's discussion, as I mentioned, the topic in itself was a heavy topic, which we could have spent longer and a lot more, but we just have probably scratched the very surface of this topic. And this will be one of the topics that will be of interest in the coming generation as the marketing world has started to evolve. So I guess this orientation to this topic will help you at least to have some elementary understanding. So with that, we will conclude our today's discussion. about customer lifecycle value. Now, our next topic is the last topic, which is about the quiz. We are due to have our first quiz. And last week I mentioned that we're going to have a quiz up to week 4, like, whatever chapter we'll be covering up to week 4. So now that we have finished talking about this, I would like to have that quiz. Now, ideally, my preference is to have the quiz at the beginning of our next class. So when our next class is on next Saturday, so next Saturday, we will start with the quiz at the beginning, and after that, we'll take the class, right? That's what the plan is. So I will be sharing with you the link online. As soon as you get the online, you'll do the quiz, and that's how we'll do the quiz. And then after that, we will be having our class. So you will not have to spend separate time for the quiz, and it gives you enough time to prepare. So from now till next Saturday would be 25th. So you have 5 days to prepare within this time. So the topics that we will be covering will be the 4 chapters that we have covered. And it will be MCQ, just simply MCQ, multiple choice questions. And yeah, just go ahead. Any question from anyone?
So
Sir,
how
week
much
3
time?
and week 4 slides.
Sorry, say again. You're on mute, Nuhash. Still on mute.
Very good. So, sir,
We
I
can
said,
hear you, brother.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Sir, I asked, we haven't got the week 3 slides, and probably you will give us week 4 today. And how much time will we get for our quiz?
30 minutes. 30 minutes in total. The total quiz duration will be 30 minutes.
Sir, how many questions will be there, sir?
There will be 20 questions only. There will be only 20 questions, and you have 30 minutes. So that gives you enough time to complete the questions. So it will just be a concept check. So, just to understand whether you have understood the topic well. That is the core objective.
Sir, if you can share the lecture video a little bit earlier than our next class, then it would be helpful.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We need that.
I think you have pointed at the right problem. This was a problem for myself as well to, upload everything on time, and I was struggling as well because I had to do the editing. So what I have done from this class is that I've stopped my recording in between while we were having the discussion, so the video doesn't get too long, because if the videos are too long, then it gets hard to record and everything. So anyway, it will be regular. I promise you, it will be regular. It will be very, very quickly. And I'm about to share you the link of our today's class slide as well, and including the previous one as well.
Yes, sir. That will be helpful for us for preparing the quiz.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the other question? And by the way, I'm hoping that all of you have access to the ebook, right?
Yes, sir. We have access on the ebook.
Okay, because the questions will be from the book, and the slides are also made from the book. So link to our today's slide is on the chat. I have just posted it on the chat. And the previous week, okay, let me just grab it. The previous week. Can someone confirm if it's accessible or not?
It is, sir.
So this
it
week
is.
one is accessible. Meet the previous week one as well.
And here comes the previous week as well. All right, so for those of you who have missed out today's class, I will be sharing this, the slide link in the YouTube channel video, like under the video, there's like, the description section. I'll send the link as well into that so that you've got access to those as well. All right, so look, I mean, if you, yeah, was there any question?
So it's accessible.
Okay, that's good. Yes, so I guess that's pretty much about our today's discussion. We'll be, as soon as the video gets processed, like in Zoom, I'll be uploading that. So hopefully tomorrow, by tomorrow, we'll have access to our today's discussion as well. So if there's no further question, I think we will.
Sir, will the quiz start sharp at 6:30 or just in case something happens?
Yeah, we'll be slightly accommodative with that. If anyone happens to join late, I will be giving them the link. We'll try to see. I mean, try to be on time, because if would have been an exam on campus, you would still come on time, right? I mean, you wouldn't do late.
Sir, my Wi-Fi provider, the Wi-Fi connection is a bit unstable recently, so.
Yeah, imagine the exam will start exactly at 6 o'clock, all right? So that's how you will be ready to do the exam at 6:30 then. So we'll try to just 5 minutes, okay, 5 minutes here and there, that's fine, but we'll try to stick to the time, okay? So please make an effort to be on time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the problem will be if someone joins late, and then, if I have already shared the link with everyone else, so then there's matters of privacy. We cannot do that. So that's why we have to be on time, start everyone on time. So please make an effort to do it on time, and we'll take it from there. So look, thank you.
6:30 it will start.
6:30, yes. 5 minutes is okay. Like we can start at 6:35. That's fine. I mean, I know to set up Zoom and everyone getting online, it takes 5 minutes anyway. So 5 minutes, that's fine, but we cannot do it from 7. Like obviously it has to be within the 5 minutes duration.
Sir.
Yeah, Istiak.
Sir, I have a query about the week 2 slide.
Okay, so can you just hold your query? I'll let everyone else go because we're done with our today's discussion. So folks, I mean, unless you've got any question, feel free to leave. I'll pause the recording here as well.